My name's Igor. I live in Kiev, Ukraine, and in the spring of 2025, my life turned into a nightmare. Not because of the war, though that's a nightmare in itself, but because nearly everyone I knew tried to throw me into it. My friends, my boss, my neighbors, even my ex. All of them. All except my sister, Sveta. It started like this. I was working in a warehouse, just loading pallets and doing night shifts, minding my own business. I'm not a coward, but I've got a herniated disc and a history of anxiety attacks. Not that the draft board cared. Or anyone else. I got the first notice in March. Yellow paper. Cold wording. I was being summoned for review. I didn't think much of it. Everyone was getting notices. But I had a medical exemption from 2 years ago. I thought I was safe. I was wrong. A week later, a van was waiting outside my apartment. Not military police. Not officially. Just 2 bulky guys in plain clothes. They didn't knock. They tried to drag me out of my building. I screamed. My neighbor filmed it. I managed to slam the door shut and call Sveta. She came in 10 minutes flat. Tiny as hell, but fierce. She screamed at the men. Threatened to call the ombudsman. They backed off. We filed a complaint. It went nowhere. Then the surveillance started. Sveta and I noticed it first outside her flat, where I had started staying. A gray Lada parked outside for 2 days straight. Same guy in the driver's seat, pretending to smoke. She took photos. Sent them to a journalist friend. We were told to keep quiet. If they're watching you, they're prepping something bigger. And they were. One night I went to get groceries. Someone followed me. Black hoodie. Quiet steps. I ducked into a bookstore. Hid in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Then slipped out the back. That was the first escape. But not the last. By May, I had 5 notices from different departments. My name was on multiple registries. The exemptions I'd filed were suddenly lost. We went to court. Sveta represented me unofficially. She'd studied law before switching to journalism. She cross-examined the officers, brought medical records, testimony from my neurologist. We won the preliminary injunction. And then my ex, Lena, posted my address on social media. Traitor hiding in his sister's house, she wrote. 2 days later, our window was smashed. Brick with a note tied to it. Cowards burn first. Sveta wanted to leave the city, but we couldn't. The appeal hearing was scheduled in 10 days. We bunkered down. Cameras. Reinforced locks. Her journalist friend brought over burner phones. We took shifts sleeping. And still they came. One night, the door was forced open. 3 men. One had a taser. The other 2 had zip ties. Sveta screamed. I fought back. Hit one in the face with a flashlight. He bled. They ran. We reported it. The police took hours. No footage, they said. No proof. But there was proof. We had copies. Sveta uploaded it anonymously. Sent it to the Ombudsman, international watchdogs, and news outlets. It went viral. Suddenly, we weren't fugitives. We were whistleblowers. The final court session was madness. Protesters outside. Press cameras. My name trending on Ukrainian Twitter. The state lawyer tried to paint me as a manipulator, using my condition to dodge duty. Sveta stood up. You don't know my brother. He wakes up screaming at night. He can't lift a bag of groceries without collapsing. But even if he were healthy, forcing someone into war to settle a grudge or score political points is inhuman. The courtroom clapped. And then the verdict came. I was cleared. My exemption was reinstated. The officers who harassed us were put under investigation. Lena deleted her social accounts. We won. But the victory wasn't clean. I can't walk outside without checking every corner. I sleep with a knife under my pillow. Sveta's mailbox gets hate mail. And then something else happened. A face I hadn't seen in years resurfaced. Tara's, a former classmate. We'd trained together briefly during volunteer drills in 2022. He'd always had a chip on his shoulder, especially after I told him to stay away from Sveta. He wanted to date her, and I knew what kind of man he was. Sveta didn't even know. Now, Tara's was part of the regional military command. and he'd found out someone was trying to drag me back into the war effort. Instead of helping me, he saw it as a chance for revenge. He started feeding anonymous tips to the authorities. Planted rumors that I was faking my condition. I confronted him once outside a courthouse. He grinned. "You should have let me have your sister." I snapped. We fought. Right there in the street. He cracked a rib, I split his lip. It was on camera. We were both arrested. Court again. But this time it was different. Witnesses came forward. A nurse revealed Taras had tried to bribe her into falsifying records. A former friend of his testified about his obsession with Sveta. The judge didn't dismiss the fight, but he saw the bigger picture. Taras was fired, disgraced, tried for harassment, and finally it felt like we could breathe. I still don't walk alone much. Sveta still keeps pepper spray on her keychain. But the worst is over. For now. Because in Ukraine, peace isn't the absence of war. It's surviving the people who want you to disappear.